जिस इंसान को फाइनल स्टेज कैंसर है, शी स्लिप्ड इनटू कोमा, मल्टीपल ऑर्गन फेलियर, एंड कोमा से वापस आते ही she started healing,
Yeah.
and within weeks she was cancer free. She was cancer free. And I mean there is an amazing example of, you know, the mysterious things that happen, and how Andy, I mean, her
Changes
experience.
people. Welcome back to another episode of the Unheard Reality Podcast. Again, thank you so much for listening, viewing, and liking what we are doing. Thank you for listening on Spotify, on Ghana, on Google Podcast, on Apple Podcasts, and every other platform जहाँ पे you are tuning in and आप सुन रहे हो हमें. You are liking what we are doing, and thank you so much for all the support. अभी तक हमने 3 एपिसोड कर दिया है, and तीनों में people have been liking or loving what we are doing. So we'll continue doing that for 2 more episodes. Actually, we have 2 more episodes left for the season 1. Yeah, this is just thought of letting you know that thank you so much. Before we go ahead with the podcast thing, just a small or quick shout out to our book, The Spirits Talk to Me. If you are intrigued by the paranormal, you want to know how we work, how our organization works, how we investigate the paranormal, how we help the souls of physical world and the spiritual world, then please go and grab a copy of The Spirits Talk to Me. It is written by world class horror writer, veteran horror writer to say, Neil D. Silva, and is published by Hachette India and is represented by India's biggest book agency, the literary agency, the Book Bakers. So yeah, if you are interested by the paranormal, please do grab a copy. It is available on Amazon and in bookstores near you as well. Before we jump ahead, in some other news, a weird thing happened this week in Utah. I love the word Utah, just how it sounds when we pronounce it, Utah.
Yeah.
Someone or something installed a monolith in the middle of a park, or it was like something जहाँ पे लोग generally जा नहीं पाते हैं, and that it is regularly patrolled every evening via helicopter because on road it is difficult to cover such a large extent. And one fine evening, the patrolling guys, they see a monolith standing in the middle, and it's an iron monolith, and it is installed so well that it actually raises a lot of question कि वो वहाँ पे आया कैसे. क्योंकि अगर आप देखो उसको जाके, इट इज ऐसा नहीं कि कोई जल्दबाजी में करके चला गया, नहीं,
प्रॉपर्ली इंस्टॉल्ड.
हाँ, लाइक कोई तो आया था, उसको प्रॉपर्ली डिग किया है, एंड इट इज नॉट एक इंसान का काम. Now what raises more question is कि वहाँ की जो एंट्री है is not allowed to many people. So अगर एक ग्रुप भी आया था,
एंड यू कांट जस्ट, मतलब इतनी बड़ी चीज अगर कोई लेके जा रहा है, दैट कैन नॉट बी ओवरलुक्ड और जस्ट
बिकॉज इट मस्ट बी अराउंड 7-8 feet का थिंग, एंड
लॉट ऑफ वियर्ड थिंग्स हैपनिंग.
so either is the some mischievous human that is trying to prank something, or it is the aliens trying to contact or show us something. So yeah, that is one of the weird thing that happens. But another spooky thing that happened is Vishal Furia, or as we fondly call him, Vishal sir, he has started shooting for his next horror movie, the remake of his classic horror movie Lapa Chhapi, जो मराठी में था, but now he is remaking it in Hindi, and he is guaranteeing that it will be more scary than
the previous one. Yes.
And the best part is it is being backed by Crypt TV. Yeah, they are one of the best people जो कि horror बनाते हैं in the international level. And I just got the news that even T Series is now a partner, so the project has become exponentially big. And the lead actress is Nusrat, who is an amazing actress. So yeah, Vishal sir, if you are listening to this or watching this, all the best from all of us.
All the best.
from pairs. And yeah, coming back to our topic of
Yes.
podcast, we have an amazing topic tonight.
And I think this is one of the most researched topics
In the
of
parapsychology.
parapsychology. It's very, very intriguing. It's I can say it's something personal also, because a lot of people have their
Experienced
own
it.
unique experiences, but at the same time उसमें सब चीज़ों में बहुत similarity भी है.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's nothing other than the NDE,
Or
or
the
the
near-death
near death experience. And it's one of my personal favorite topics of parapsychology too, because जब past life regression करती हूँ, and especially when I take people to their death scene where
हाँ.
they are just passing.
Like उनका end moment में.
हाँ, सो जो एनडी हुए हैं लोगों को, एंड वो उसमें बहुत सारी सिमिलैरिटीज हैं, एंड दैट इज व्हाट इट मेक्स मोर इंट्रीगिंग दैट something like this actually exists.
And the best part is there are there are millions of people who have experienced it.
Yes, yes.
Though many disregard it as a near-death experience. Now, actually, what the problem is, people consider near-death experience मतलब जो मरते मरते बच गए. As in, suppose accident इतना जोरों को हुआ कि मैं मरते मरते बच गया. People consider
it's
that
not,
as
it's not
near-death
that.
experience.
Near-death experience basically मतलब अगर कोई इंसान क्लिनिकली डेड उनको अगर डिक्लेयर कर दिया गया है, बट द पर्सन कम्स बैक टू लाइफ.
एंड ऐसा नहीं कि 5 मिनट में आ गया, 6 मिनट में आ गया, बिकॉज जनरली दैट हैपेंस, द heartbeat stops or the brain stops and then it comes back after a few minutes. But there have been cases जहाँ पे लोग आधे घंटे बाद 45 minutes बाद वापस.
Absolutely. And ये तो है ही, but also places जहाँ पर people have had traumatic experiences, or just like sudden accidents,
traumatic experiences that have led to a possible death.
Exactly, where they have just like ditched death, I would say. And ये तो है ही, plus there have been cases जहाँ पर लोगों ने meditations के time भी experiences किए हैं, which are very similar. I think even you had one.
So basically, to the listeners and the viewers who are watching and listening, NDE or near-death experience, the definitive term or the definition of near-death experience is the experience that people feel after they are declared clinically dead by the doctors, and they see a lot of things which they claim are part of the afterlife, or as we call as life after life. And so near-death experience are the experiences that are shared by the people who are said to be clinically dead, but they come back alive. Even इंडिया में भी बहुत बार हुआ है, न्यूज़ में भी सुना होगा कि जैसे लेके कोई इंसान को लेके like he is ready to be set on fire by the relatives.
Yes,
and he
suddenly comes back to life. I mean, that has freaked people out, but such things have happened. Things have happened, and वो भूत नहीं था. It was definitely the person was brought back to life. The person chose to come back to life because
I will okay, it can be 50-50 thing that what एक चीज ये हो सकता है कि the person chose, but then again we are speculating right now. The person chose to come back, and 50% can be that he was sent back. Okay, you have some work.
I would say it could be either. Yes, I would definitely say
because personally
it could be either.
Because personally I believe that everyone here on earth, no matter what is the age or gender or the work is, they are contributing to something bigger.
They have a higher purpose,
and that उनका कुछ तो mission है which they have to complete, or their life is waste.
Yeah, so everyone is there for a purpose. But anyway, before we come to if a person is actually given a choice या फिर वो खुद the person chooses to come back, I would say that there are not stages exactly, but there are intensities from mild to major NDs. एज इन कुछ लोगों को होता है जो NDE एक्सपीरियंस करते हैं. सम पीपल जस्ट मेंशन यू नो एज इफ दे फील दे गेट एन आउट ऑफ बॉडी एक्सपीरियंस. जैसे कि उन्हें जस्ट फील होता है एज इफ दे आर फ्लोटिंग आउट ऑफ द बॉडी. कुछ लोगों को फील होता है दैट एज इफ दे आर हियरिंग वॉइसेस और सीइंग थिंग्स दैट दे हैव नेवर एक्सपीरियंस्ड. सो these are, I would say, the minor ones, but there are people who have mentioned about being about experiencing a tunnel wherein
I think all of them have.
no, not all, but most of them, because not only the tunnel and light at the end of the tunnel, there have been a lot of people who have mentioned about something like a well experience.
Achha.
And a cave experience.
Acha, nahi, I have no idea about.
Yeah, so people have
Cave,
mentioned about
I have
cave,
heard, yeah.
about well.
Well, I have no idea.
So ये तो experiences हैं, and some people have gone to the extent where they have seen their departed loved ones.
Yeah.
They have had a conversation with them. They have had a conversation with what they call a spiritual entity, wherein they are being asked to go back.
Yeah.
As in उनको बोला जाता है कि ये आपका फाइनल पॉइंट है, अगर आप इसके बियॉन्ड जाओगे सो यू वोंट बी एबल टू गेट बैक, यू नीड टू गो बैक. And I would say most of them have had and have shared very beautiful experiences where they have felt very calm and where they felt very soothing, and it was a very happy feel, and they didn't want to come back, but they are sent back.
And this is like a documented fact that anyone who has gone through an NDE, an NDE or NDE or a near-death experience, all of them claim that their life has changed post that experience.
Yes, towards the positive. And कुछ instances हुए हैं which I have found during the research is that some people have had scary experiences. Not scary exactly, लेकिन उन लोगों ने mention किया that they felt lost.
Maybe scary because scary from their point of view.
Exactly, because suddenly, I mean, they don't know.
Suddenly seeing your own body on the bed, people crying, and you can't console them.
Yes, and since you mentioned that, you know, it also reminds me कि कई लोग they have actually, especially the ones जिन्होंने experience किया है NDE in hospital beds. So many of them have actually told the doctors the exact conversation that the doctors were happening, along with the visuals, probably when the person was in coma, or you know, if they were in no ways that they could.
I remember there was this case, as in क्या हुआ था that the person was declared dead, and he or she is now floating and getting all those symptoms as in things of how do I say, symptoms of near-death experience. And the person says that as he's floating, the doctors are trying to revive the person, and they're trying hard. They're also, like you said, वो लोग बोल रहे हैं कि you need to do this, you need to do this, we need to survive or revive this person, and the person chooses to go out of the room, and he sees his relatives sitting वहाँ पे. And they are like, वो लोग रो रहे हैं, they are talking about the person, they are praying, and वो क्या करता है, वो इंसान उनको बताने की कोशिश कर रहा है कि right now I'm happy, like I'm feeling very nice.
Light गई.
हाँ. So yeah, there is a change in plan. We have to record like this, so bear with us. Everything is working actually, it's recording, we have the light. This happened, we don't have a backup electricity, sorry. So वो console करने की कोशिश कर रहा है, and everything is fine, and then suddenly he feels like getting sucked back into something, and as he feels that, he wakes up to see the doctors looking at him shocked के जिंदा हो गया ये.
This reminds me of that episode of Supernatural where Dean is having that was, I mean, actually he dies, but it was an NDE.
Where
I guess
he's
it was
talking
an
to
NDE.
death.
Yes.
But now that you have bought Dean, there's this guy who I love for the work he has done on near-death experience. He goes by the name Dr. Raymond Moody. I think one of the first books parapsychology के ऊपर जो मैंने पढ़ा था was Life After Life by Dr. Raymond Moody. ये इतना सुंदर बुक है. It's written so beautifully by the man. एंड बहुत लोगों को ये नहीं पता है कि ये जो टर्म है नियर डेथ एक्सपीरियंस और NDE इज एक्चुअली कॉइन्ड बाय डॉक्टर रेमंड मूडी हिमसेल्फ. एंड इन्होंने ये टर्म कॉइन किया था इन द ईयर 1975 एंड ही हैज़ बीन वन ऑफ द प्रोमिनेंट रिसर्चर्स नियर डेथ एक्सपीरियंसेस में. एंड उनकी जो किताब है लाइफ आफ्टर लाइफ, ही हैज़ डॉक्यूमेंटेड सम 60-70 और मोर पीपल जिन लोगों ने कैसे कैसे एक्सपीरियंसेस किए हैं नियर डेथ एक्सपीरियंस, एंड जैसे सिम्टम्स के बारे में बताया या फिर अदर थिंग्स दैट दे गो थ्रू, सब है उसमें. एंड कोई भी पढ़ेगा ना उसको एक बार तो डाउट आएगा कि यार हाउ डज इट फील डाइंग, बिकॉज आई हैव दिस क्यूरियोसिटी एंड आई हैव हर्ड कहीं पे तो पीपल लाइक voluntarily you can induce death, some lab or something, and like for few seconds or few minutes आपका हार्ट बंद कर दिया जाता है, and then after some time you are revived back. And I was like, I want to experience, okay, there is a final time coming for everyone, no doubt in that, but वो ना मतलब कैसा हो गया कि that will be a surprising thing for everyone. क्योंकि किसी को पता नहीं होगा कि मरने के बाद हो क्या रहा है. If you know कैसे हो रहा है, then no one will fear death anymore.
And that is what exactly happens. जिन लोगों को NDE हुआ है, the people who have had near that experience, I think all of them have, they no longer, what do you say, fear death.
Yeah.
They no longer fear death. They have had a very positive shift in their lives, and they all have, most of them have found a purpose.
Yeah.
Because this, this actually brings me to an example of Anita Moorjani.
Yeah.
Have you read her book? It's Dying to Be Me, and this is an amazing book that I read where Anita Moorjani, she was suffering from cancer, which was at the 4th stage.
We'll have to speak in Hindi because there will be some people commenting, "Abhi Hindi mein baat karo." I have no idea what our viewers have so much obsession with speaking in Hindi, but yeah, we'll have to. I think
yeah.
English में करना पड़ेगा.
दोनों, I'll get into both the languages. So ये बहुत ही अच्छी बुक है जहाँ पर it's her life story, जहाँ पर it's mentioned that she was suffering from cancer जो कि 4th stage पे था. She was admitted to the hospital and she slipped into coma because she was experiencing multiple organ failure. She was in coma for almost 30 hours. And वो 30 hours में जो उन्होंने experience किया है, where she has given a beautiful description of जो चीज़ें हुई within those hours and how she was given a choice to go back or rather asked to go back. I mean, I read this long back, so I don't remember that part. And when she come, and yes, she was assured कि जब she goes back, she will not be, I mean, she will be absolutely fine. There won't be any cancer.
नहीं समझा मुझे.
That once she goes back to life.
She knew.
Yeah, so this is what she was told.
Okay.
So she was having a conversation. I guess it was her father. I'm not sure about this because हाँ, because मैंने ये बहुत पहले पढ़ी थी book. I'm forgetting this part कि वो conversation किसके साथ हो रहा था. But she was assured that when she goes back and once she is out of coma, she will be healed and that she has a higher purpose and she has a message जो कि उनको humanity को देना है.
Okay.
And she agrees. She comes back, as in she is out of coma. And इतना ज़्यादा ये केस फेमस हुआ था because जिस इंसान को फाइनल स्टेज कैंसर है, शी स्लिप्ड इनटू कोमा, मल्टीपल ऑर्गन फेलियर, एंड कोमा से वापस आते ही she started healing. And within weeks she was cancer free. She was cancer free. And I mean there is an amazing example of the mysterious things that happen and how ND I mean, her
Changes
experience.
people.
Exactly, her experience is worth reading, I would say.
It's also mysterious, like you said, and like for example, even I have a personal experience. So I think I can back my experience by saying that it was not influenced by my reading, because I read about Raymond Moody 7 years back. एंड उसके बाद मैंने इंटेंसिवली कभी नियर डेथ एक्सपीरियंस पे रिसर्च नहीं किया. माई पार्ट हैज ऑलवेज बीन घोस्ट एंड स्पिरिट्स एंड द सुपर नेचुरल पार्ट. I think it was last year or 2 years back, I was meditating, and again, like I said, मैंने कुछ पढ़ा ही नहीं था नियर डेथ एक्सपीरियंस के बारे में कि मेरा माइंड विल बी प्लेइंग गेम्स, एंड आई वाज मेडिटेटिंग फॉर लॉन्ग, एंड ड्यूरिंग द एंड आई सॉर्ट ऑफ लाइक in front of a huge beautiful tunnel. Like everyone says, people will say कि हाँ लोग तो यही बोलते हैं, but I know it's not influenced. It's a huge tunnel and there's like lights ऐसे ऐसे घूम रही हैं. So like lights because घूम रही हैं, so it is looking like a tunnel. And what I'm seeing is I'm standing and I can see a lot of people in queue entering. वो tunnel में घुस रहे हैं वो लोग एक एक करके. And once they're entering, they're just like blending with the light. Like इतना जोरों की रोशनी आ रही है वहां से कि वो घुसते दिखाई नहीं दे रहा है कि आगे क्या हो रहा है. And it's like in the middle of nowhere, that tunnel. It's like the universe अगर है तो imagine कि universe के बीचों बीच there is like a tunnel, like वैसा ही कुछ, like a black hole sort of thing.
हाँ, that is what बहुत लोगों ने same description दिया है.
Yeah, and I'm standing there, not in the queue. I'm just like seeing outside, and I'm seeing a lot of people entering the tunnel. घुस रहे हैं, and एक like probably वो कोटा खत्म हो जाता है, वो part या segment खत्म हो जाता है, and like everyone is done, and I'm just going, I'm just peeping inside. I'm like कि क्या है यार, इतना मस्त दिख रहा है. Like you said, it feels very divine standing in front of that tunnel. It's very attractive. So I'm like जाके देखते हैं आगे क्या होता है. So as I'm trying to enter, some voice at the end of the tunnel is like saying what are you doing? It's like
go back.
It's like it's like it was like some supervisor sort of thing. It's like what the fuck are you doing? It's like क्या कर रहा है तू अभी? I'm like no, I just want to see how it feels because it looks very good. It's very attractive, and I want to see कि क्या है इसके बाद. So the voice was like no, you can't. अभी नहीं, अभी
That's
बिल्कुल
what
नहीं
exactly I said, that कि एक particular not line but whatever beyond a certain thing नहीं allowed है जाना, because then that's the point of no return.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the point of no return.
So the voice was like नहीं, you can't go, you can't come inside, you have to go back, अभी time नहीं है, अभी time नहीं है. I'm like okay ठीक है, and by then also I have no idea that I'm experiencing NDE. It was only after the meditation I was like अच्छा
ये हुआ है.
ये
And this tunnel thing also brings me to one of not my experiences, but I was present at that time.
Pretty personal.
It was my aunt, and she has this low blood pressure ka problem. And a lot of time when her BP falls, she feels faintish. But this particular day, what happened was she felt faintish, she called out for me, but the next moment she collapsed. And I was the only one with her, along with a cousin of mine. And she's fainted, and मैं उन्हें पानी वगैरह छिड़क रही हूँ, वो नहीं उठ रही हैं, and that kind of panicked me. I called up my uncle, and all this was happening because I was in the mode of panic. तो ये सब चीजें मिला के it was around maybe 15-20 minutes. And 15-20 minutes बाद she just wakes up, sits on her own, and then what she describes, and this was like long back, ये बहुत पहले था, and उस टाइम पे I had no idea about NDE. I was somewhere in my teens.
Okay.
तब की बात है ये. And I had no idea what NDE is, and ऐसा भी कुछ होता है या फिर tunnel experience and blah, whatever we have discussed, मुझे कुछ idea नहीं था इन चीज़ों का. And when she came back, जब वो बैठी and she described, and now when I look back or recollect that particular instance, it was the same thing that she spoke.
ND.
She told me about the tunnel. She told me about the light. She told me about the line. वो line में खड़ी थी. She also saw a few relatives, who had passed, and the same thing, that the same voice, ki it's not your time yet. You need to go back. So, and one thing very intriguing, कि यहाँ पे at the physical level ये चीज़ हुई around 15-20 minutes तक चला, but for her it was just a few seconds.
Yeah, same.
It was just a few seconds, and a lot of people जिन्हें NDA हुआ है, they have mentioned about how on the other side the time doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Present,
or
past and future are happening simultaneously.
Yeah, or even though it does, it's totally not the way we experience.
Exactly. It's something very different, because बहुत लोगों ने बोला, they see as if things are happening together.
Yeah.
Past, present and future, everything is happening together.
Even like, again to bring back Supernatural. Spoiler alert, जिन लोगों ने finale नहीं देखा है, so when Dean dies and he goes to heaven, while he's taking a drive in his car, Sam की life आगे जा रही है, he's dying and everything.
Sam has become old, उसके marriage हो चुकी है, बच्चा हो चुका है, and वहाँ पर Dean is just driving. And वो मर भी जाता है Sam, and he's still driving. Right.
So that even actually, so many people claim that that's how the spiritual world also is. Not only heaven as we call or whatever it is, but even in the spiritual world there is nothing as time, because many of the times we have asked times to spirits and वो लोगों ने कुछ अजीब timing बोला है, अजीब date बोला है.
Right.
So yeah, things have happened. So those who are interested to know more about life after life, or as the near death experience, do get the Life After Life book by Dr. Raymond Moody. The name of the book is Life After Life. And near death experience हर साल हर दिन लोगों को होता है. इंडिया में ऐसे बहुत सारे लोग हैं जो हमारे साथ शेयर किए हैं अबाउट नियर डेथ एक्सपीरियंस. इट्स अ वेरी वियर्ड फिनोमेना, बिकॉज एक चीज़ मेरे को, जैसे अनीता मुरझानी के बारे में यू आर सेइंग कि शी इज एट स्टेज 4 मल्टीपल ऑर्गन फेलियर. हाउ कैन जस्ट a near death experience healed all those things?
That's the thing, that's why we say that this is one field which is infinite, it's unknown. There are so many things that are still to be known.
And just to spill the beans for more further discussion sometime later, what if having a near death experience is equivalent to having a past life regression? Why? Because I've seen or heard many saying that past life regression में आपका कर्मा क्लियर होता है थोड़ा से ज़्यादा जो भी.
More than karma clearing, it's what we say is that when you are reliving the moments,
you're healing.
You are relieving the symptoms.
And the pain and the bad vibes
so
and everything.
So basically you are letting go of those imprints, and just re-experiencing those things heals the person. So yes, as you said,
but maybe in the case, what I'm trying to say is, in the case of Anita Murjani, maybe what happened is uska jo wo phase tha when she dies, so she died, that is the middle point. Uske baad she experienced the near death thing. But when she dies...
No, she was in coma. She was not declared dead.
Soul is out of the body. That means the person is
dead. Definitely.
I mean, उधर organ में चल रहा है.
She was exactly. She was probably on support system.
Yeah,
and,
exactly.
उस वजह से
exactly. So middle point is death. So maybe when her soul left the body, she sort of cleared the quota of pain she had left in her body. Like death हो गया ना, like what we say.
So it's like the old Anita was
dead. Yeah.
And this was a complete new version, and
so basically she cleared.
Healed.
She healed everything, the pains that was about to come after the multiple organ failures and lot of other things.
And she got I mean, a lot of things were revealed to her, not only about her purpose in life or about, how life works. And yes, and very important thing, it also revealed to her why she had to undergo all this, why she got cancer, and what was the reason. Because every disease or every physical symptom has a metaphysical reason
Yeah.
behind it. It has an emotional cause behind it. And that is what, we as healers, we just don't, हम लोग सिर्फ physical पे नहीं restrict करते हैं. We see the metaphysical and the emotional and other things before we actually completely heal the person.
Yeah.
So वो सारी चीजें reveal हुई थी, and how everything is connected and why she got this disease. And I think it's a beautiful book to read. It reveals a lot, and plus it gives us a lot of things to research on.
So yeah, this is what it is, near-death experience, my personal experiences shared by Pooja, and there are lots and lots of experiences. यहाँ पे ज़्यादा कुछ थियोरिटिकल नहीं है, इवन दो है, अगर हम वो बोलेंगे तो आप लोगों को बोर लगने वाला है. सो वी आर नॉट गोइंग टू टॉक एनीथिंग थियोरिटिकल, हमने सिर्फ एक्सपीरियंस वाइज ही रखा. इफ़ यू वांट टू नो मोर, फील फ्री टू research it, feel free to get the books by Anita Murjani, feel free to get the books by Raymond Moody. There are other books written by the doctor himself, and a lot of them are well available on the internet, so please go and read them if you want to know more about it.
And yes, if any one of you have had any personal experience, then we would love to hear from you.
Yeah.
YouTube watchers, you can drop it in the comment box, and those who are listening to the podcast, you can connect with us and let us know, because there is one topic that we are still researching on. There is a lot to be researched, so we would love to hear from you. And
the Unheard Reality podcast is again available on Spotify, Apple Podcast, Ghana app, Google Podcast, and 6-7 more platforms. Feel free to, and also available on YouTube as audio video, but for the rest of the platforms it is only audio, so feel free to check them out. And if you like this episode, प्लीज़ डू लाइक. जहाँ पे भी आप सुन रहे हो, अगर वहाँ पे एक ऑप्शन है लाइक दबाने का, प्लीज़ डू लाइक द एपिसोड और द पॉडकास्ट. इट विल मोटिवेट अ लॉट to do more. And thank you so much again for listening, viewing and watching. Viewing and watching are the same thing, I think. Listening and viewing the Unheard Reality podcast. This is Sarbajeet
and Pooja,
and we are signing off for this episode of the Unheard Reality podcast. Bye.
Bye.